Alright guys, I'm back with another review for you, and this time it's another Van Damme review. You know how much I like Van Damme movies. And this one is for... Let me do it. This one is for... Hold on. Kickboxer. Stop before I hurt myself. So this Kickboxer tells the story of Kurt Sloan, whose brother is paralyzed in a kickboxing fight. And Kurt decides to get revenge and is trained by a Chinese man, I believe he's Chinese, or Thailand. Is that China? Out of breath from doing that kick. But he gets trained by this man, to face Tong Po, which is the guy who paralyzed his brother. Of course, he falls in love with a Chinese woman, or a Thailandese woman, whatever. A Thai woman, which is his sensei's niece. I think niece, yeah. So yeah. First and foremost, for a Van Damme movie, it's very slow paced. If you know what I mean. Like, usually Van Damme action movies are fast. You know, there's a lot of fights, there's some action, stuff like that, explosions maybe. This is very slow. It's, you know, there's a fight at the beginning in which his brother gets paralyzed, and then he vows revenge, and he talks to this guy, this African-American guy by the name of Taylor, which is his last name, I don't remember his first name. But Taylor takes him to the sensei, who teaches him eventually how to beat this guy. And there's this one scene that got me, who's training him, because it goes back to the beginning. When Kurt goes to get his brother some ice, he happens to look in on Tong Po, who's kicking this pillar, and he's kicking it so hard that the plaster is falling out of the ceiling. And it harkens back to that in this scene where Kurt is kicking a tree, and his leg is starting to hurt, and he wants to stop, and the sensei says, "Get away from my house! Get out of here!" And why? You do not quit. You quit, you leave. And so he keeps telling him to kick, and he kicks harder and harder, and soon he kicks the tree in half. And while it hurts his leg a lot, he still did, you know, that's what the sensei wanted. I call him sensei because I don't remember his name. But he kicks that tree in half. Yeah, a lot of good training scenes. Painful looking training scenes. But, yeah, I don't know if you see, there's a YouTube video out there that's like 100 dances, it's Uptown Funk, 100 movie dances, and one of them is from this movie, and I didn't know that, but they're like, you know, you like to dance? Dance. So play music, he starts dancing. I'm like, oh, this is that dance scene from the thing. So he does a dance scene, and then the sensei goes around and starts telling all these people in the bar some stuff, and they start trying to attack Kurt, and he defends himself successfully, and it turns out that he was telling them that apparently Sensei was telling them that Kurt said that their mothers sleep with mules or something like that. Has sex with mules. And then he ends up, you know, in little small fights before he finally gets to fight Tong Po. One thing I kind of liked about this is, you know, they try to have Van Damme play an American sometimes. And it doesn't work because of his accent. And they never get him to, like, he played Guile, and Guile's supposed to be an American in Street Fighter, the personification of America, and he still has the accent. Here they sort of explain it why he has an accent, his brother doesn't. His brother is played by Dennis Alessi, who was a kickboxing champion in real life, and he speaks, you know, with American accent. And of course, Kurt Van Damme does not. And they explain it by saying their parents split up, and the older brother stayed with the father in America, and Kurt was born in Belgium and stayed with his mom in Europe. But both brothers are very close, which is why he wants revenge. And his brother is now paralyzed forever because of what Tong Po did. And of course, it's a Van Damme movie. He's got to succeed. In the end, he does beat Tong Po. He's successful. And he works out the music. My God. This movie was trying so hard to be Rocky. This came out in 1989, right? So Rocky was pretty much the first 4 Rocky movies had come out. The fifth one wasn't going to come out for a year or two. This was trying so hard to be Rocky, like Rocky 4, with the music. Because like Rocky 4 specifically, because Rocky 3 had Eye of the Tiger. Rocky 4 had them, Burning Heart and No Easy Way Out and Hearts on Fire, and then the dun 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 training music that they had. This one has the cheesiest 80s pop rock music you could ever have in a action film. It's just the cheesiest. I mean, I can't even remember, but it's so cheesy pop rock music. The cheesiest. It's so cheesy. Even Kraft macaroni and cheese box would be like, no, that's too much cheese. Even a mouse would be like, no, too much cheese. It's so cheesy. But it works for this movie, I guess. But I guess with a Van Damme movie, I was expecting more action. And like I said, it's very slow paced. Not very, but it's a decent pace, I guess. But it's more of the training leading up to taking down this big guy. So it's not like a Van Damme action flick where people are getting killed left and right and explosions and guns and that. No, it's very different. But yeah. What else can I say? I think I've gone through it. Yeah, this is one of Van Damme's earlier films. I mean, he started acting in 1984. But, you know what's weird? I know Van Damme was supposed to be in Predator. But he didn't. He wasn't in the Predator because they wanted him to wear some suit and he didn't want to be covered up. But here's the thing. I was looking on Wikipedia, and I know anyone can edit Wikipedia, but I was looking at it before when I was watching. I was looking at it to see what other ones he did and stuff. Like, I thought this was his first film, and maybe it's his first major film. I think Bloodsport came out first in 87, 88, I think. But then this came out after that. His hair is very different. It's not his usual straight up. It's like down. So it's one of his earlier ones. But he's still credited for being in Predator, even though he's not in the movie, unless they use some stunt stuff. I don't know. But anyway, let's get my rating. I think for Kickboxer, I think I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Decent film, decent score for a decent film. There are 4 other films in this franchise, which I can only cover the next 3, because I can't find Kickboxer 5 anywhere. I looked on Tubi, I looked on YouTube, I looked on Vudu, I even looked on eBay, and to buy Kickboxer 5 on DVD on eBay is fucking expensive as hell. I ain't paying that much for it. So I might never do a review for Kickboxer 5. And even though it's not really, because like this one's the only one with Kurt Sloan, I think. And then you have Sasha Mitchell, like Van Damme, this only one with Van Damme, and I think the character of Kurt Sloan. And then in 2, 3, and 4, it's Sasha Mitchell from Step by Step. Cody from Step by Step. I'm kind of interested to see how it works, because I've never seen him out of Step by Step, so I don't know, serious role. 2, 3, and 4. And then 5 had Mark Dacascos. And then they rebooted it with 2 straight-to-video ones. Kickboxer Vengeance, Kickboxer Retaliation. which had Van Damme returning, but as the sensei this time instead of the... I was going to say at Van Damme's age, but come on. Van Damme could be 75 years old and still kick people's asses. It's Van Damme, but yeah. So it's a 7 out of 10 for me for Kickboxer. What are your thoughts on Kickboxer? Let me know in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.